Hello, and welcome to Enough and Evolving podcast. I'm your host, Tyiona Vallejo, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindfulness Expert, helping you reclaim confidence, break through unhelpful patterns, and manifest the relationships and life you desire. Now let's get started. What's up, friends? Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm sharing all about meditation, and I have been meditating for the past 14 years now, and I believe that it has really helped me create a sense of calm, and specifically when I wake up in the morning. Meditation is the very first thing that I do. I haven't even been sitting up to meditate lately. I've just been waking up and meditating, lying down. Now, a lot of people say that this isn't the greatest way to meditate or advise against meditating in that way. And that's simply because they're worried about you just falling asleep instead of paying attention to the meditation. And I have mixed feelings about that. Number one, if you need more sleep, then you will fall asleep, right? So I don't think that that's a bad thing. And number two, I think it can be very regulating for your nervous system to choose a posture that feels best for you. Now, with that said, when I first started meditating, I would sit up in bed and I would put my Air Max headphones on. So I was completely tuned in, and I would do a guided meditation. Actually, when I first started, I would just use relaxing music, and I would do like a challenge and see how long I could sit without looking at the clock. And I remember when I first started, it was literally like 2, maybe 3 minutes was the max that I could get to. But it was really fun. As I practiced that more and more, I could see that the time that I was able to sit grew. And then there was a point where I reached 20 minutes and it felt like 5. It was wild. And since then, I've used all sorts of different meditations. There are many different apps out there that you can try. There's a Calm app. There's a Headspace app. I've tried both of those, but my favorite app is Insight Timer. That's the one that I use on a regular basis. And I love it because there are so many different meditations on there. There's so many different teachers. So it just depends on how I'm feeling when I wake up in the morning. I generally follow a couple of different teachers, and so I'll already know ahead of time which I like, and I'll just pick one of those. That's something I would highly recommend if you're starting the practice. You can first start like I did and just challenge yourself by sitting in silence or with music on for a certain length of time. Maybe you put a timer for 2 minutes or 3 minutes and see how far you can get. You use one of these guided meditations. There's also a lot of meditations on YouTube that you can check out. But if you are going to use a guided meditation, I would highly recommend that you know exactly what you want to use, especially if you're going to start in the morning as a morning practice, because the last thing you want to be doing is kind of, scrolling or looking for it on your phone, because you might get lost in another rabbit hole, if you know what I mean. So I love to give meditations for my yoga students, as well as offer meditations for my coaching clients. I have made custom meditations for them as well. And so I wanted to create a meditation specifically for podcast listeners. And I'm going to be recording that on an upcoming episode so that you can use it as you need. Now, some of the benefits of meditation include that it actually reshapes the brain. It also lowers blood pressure and cortisol levels, which create less stress, less anxiety. It promotes better sleep by helping the body transition from the sympathetic nervous system to a parasympathetic nervous system, basically going from that stress state to a more restful state. And there have been lots of studies that have shown when you practice meditation before bed, it also improves your sleep quality. So if you are someone that struggles with sleep, I would highly encourage you to add a meditation practice to your bedtime routine. And then some of the other benefits include it boosts your focus, your mental clarity. It lengthens your attention spans. That's something that I definitely noticed again when I started practicing. I have been able to focus much better than I have been in the past. And especially this day and age with social media, with computers, with the digital world, it can be really difficult to focus. And so meditation can be something that really starts to build that muscle for you. Mental focus is simply a muscle. And when you're just kind of allowing your brain to dart from one thing to the next, you're not building that focus muscle intentionally. And meditation can help you do that. I also love the benefit of it enhances self-awareness. And that has been just a game changer in my life, is just being able to notice my own mind, notice how I'm feeling, notice my nervous system. In creating more self-awareness, I've been able to support myself, to question some of the thoughts that just kind of come on repeat that aren't really serving me, some of that self-sabotage. And meditation really allows me to slow down, to pause, to observe if that is something that is serving me or not serving me. And I know that I have the ability to redirect my focus, my thoughts, my beliefs. Another improvement that meditation can make is in our heart rate variability. It improves our heart rate variability and also enhances our immune function. It also improves our emotional regulation, which is something I was just referring to about noticing how you're feeling and being able to support yourself to navigate through emotional difficulties. Meditation can also help with pain tolerance, improving pain tolerance. Studies have shown that meditation can also benefit against conditions such as IBS, fibromyalgia, depression, anxiety, and even PTSD. The myths that I have heard about meditation are that you should be seated all the time, right? You should be seated. You can do meditation in any posture. Sitting up straight helps you become more alert, of course, but you don't need to be in a cross-legged position. You can even do a walking meditation. You can do walking, some kind of movement, and it doesn't have to be a certain length of time. It can be, as I explained earlier, any length of time that you're focusing your attention on simply observing yourself, your mind. That is the practice of meditation, bringing yourself back to the present moment. That's why we practice. We improve our focus and the ability to come back to the present moment, to notice when we've gone off into the past or off into the future. And it really manages that monkey mind, bringing us back to this present moment. It helps control your mind and your nervous system and your emotional regulation. I also believe that it helps you tune into your higher self, your intuition, instead of always listening to that fearful brain that seems to be kind of coming at us all the time, sounding like self doubt. It can be that higher whisper, that voice that reminds you that you are okay, that you're right on track. It can be that comforting embrace, that safe, centered feeling. So again, there's lots of ways that you can adopt a meditation practice. One thing you might want to just ask yourself is, where would I benefit in my day most from a meditation practice? In the morning when you wake up, are you waking up anxious? Are you waking up dysregulated, in a panic? Or are you feeling like a slump in the middle of the day, a loss of energy, feeling just kind of depleted? Maybe a meditation in the middle of the day would support you. Or are you having a hard time sleeping at night? Maybe an evening meditation would be most beneficial for you. Whatever the answer is, I highly encourage you to just begin a practice for at least 7 days. More like 14 or 21 would be phenomenal. And I'd love to hear how the practice goes. Again, I am going to record a special meditation for you on the next episode. So definitely come back and listen to that one. And I hope this is really encouraging you to start the practice. Wherever you are is absolutely perfect to start. I know most people believe that they can't sit for too long. Meditation hasn't worked for them in the past. They can't quiet their mind enough. But that is why you practice. You're not supposed to sit in meditation and be thoughtless. You're supposed to notice what is coming up. So the fact that you are hearing thoughts, you are doing it correct. And as you sit with yourself over time, the thoughts will start to become quieter and quieter. Sometimes they'll be louder, but sometimes you'll notice it's almost like if you were to dive into the ocean. At the top of the ocean, the waves are crashing. It's kind of turbulent. But when you start to sink down and go lower and lower, the waters get more and more calm. Meditation is much like that. The more you practice, the more your mind starts to calm, your nervous system regulates, you become more and more relaxed. But if you're noticing yourself feel stressed when you're first starting off, you're not doing anything wrong. That is exactly what you are supposed to hear, but you just haven't been tuning into yourself. And so, of course, that feels like very abrasive, and you might interpret that as, oh, something's wrong with me. I can't meditate. But that is so untrue. It's just you have a lot of thoughts. You have a lot going on in your mind, and you're taking a moment to see that. As you practice this more and more, you're going to feel so much more grounded, so much calmer, so much more in control of how you are thinking and feeling. So I, again, highly encourage you to give it a try and let me know how it goes. Thank you again for spending this time with me. As always, you are enough and you are evolving. Have a great week. If you're listening to this and you're recognizing yourself in these patterns, this is exactly the work I do inside my coaching. This isn't something you have to figure out alone. If you're ready to feel more confident, grounded, and self-trusting, I'd love to support you. Check out the show notes to book a consultation coaching call today.